Well, hello, everyone. My name is Zakia Ringgold. I hope I am not interrupting your lunch break. But this is a follow-up to our broadcast that we did last night. If you missed it, no worries. I have a recap for you right here, but please be sure to say hello in the chat. We will be able to see your chat messages. I don't know if it's going to be on the left or the right side, but somewhere on the screen, everyone will be able to see that you have said hello. But in the interim, my name is Zakia Ringgold, owner of Live Soap School, as well as Virtual Experience Design Agency. Now, it's been over a year since I have produced a conference for soap making, and I get a chance to do just that. Well, hello there, Tanya and Latoya. So good to see both of you here. I'm seeing that we have about 49 people across the platform. So first things first, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. If you're watching on LinkedIn, welcome. And if you're watching on Twitter, welcome. So welcome to everyone. Now, I do notice that with this new tool, I do seem to freeze a little bit. I will have to check out if that's my internet connection or the tool. But I'm going to get right into the thick of it. Last year in March, I produced the very first virtual soap summit. And that created a trajectory for me to start a completely different business in the middle of a pandemic in the form of producing virtual events for universities, nonprofits, membership organizations, and libraries. And so I now have the opportunity to work with the Old Sage Apothecarian Group to teach all things natural skincare, pulling all of those lessons learned. And now, because it's an event that I am hosting, I get a chance to share some of the things that we do for the virtual event planning business to help with virtual events. And then also for all of you that are watching, you get a chance to see a behind the scenes of what the experience will be like for a virtual event. It is not another Zoom room. I know a lot of us go to virtual conferences and we're like, oh my gosh, I have to sit through another Zoom session. Well, you will sit through some Zoom sessions because that's where a lot of the speakers who are doing more lecture style are able to share their knowledge and share their expertise. However, that is not the only element of this upcoming conference. There will be an opportunity to network. And networking is so important, especially for small handcrafters, because a lot of times we're just working in our space. We have questions, but we're not really sure if we want to post them in a Facebook group. But building that community, which is also so very important when you're doing any kind of a virtual event. It's more than the day of the event. It's what are you doing before the event? What are you doing during the event? And most importantly, after the event, to continue cultivating that community of people. So I am going to share my screen, and then that way you all can ask questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that chat off because the last time when I shared my screen this way didn't work the way that I thought it would. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to share this screen here. Nope, not that one. Let's pick the tab. And first things first, let's take a look at the schedule. Shall we? Yes, we shall. All right. So here is the schedule. First things first, we are 23 days away from the virtual conference. You do have the ability to register. There are 2 tickets that are available. There's a live only access, which means you only want to be there for the live content. You save a little bit of money, but you don't get access to the recordings. There is also the early bird all access pass. This early bird here, and I'll go to the registration page. The early bird, ignore that. That's a bad example because I did a test. So the early bird all access pass is actually $147. The beautiful thing about that is you not only get access to the live sessions, you also get access to the networking, but the additional bonus of that is you get access to the content for up to 12 months after the conference has concluded, which is a really, really good tool because sometimes we take in so much information during a virtual event, it kind of becomes overwhelming. And then a week later, you don't remember what so-and-so said. Well, you don't have to try and remember. You get to go back and see what that information is. So now let's take a look at the schedule. So we have 2 full days of content that are scheduled. So it starts off on September the 11th, bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern time. One thing I do need to mention, especially if you're doing virtual events, is to be aware of time zones. The beauty of this platform is it automatically reflects in your local time zone. So because I'm in the East Coast, it's showing me 8 a.m. If you're one of our California beauties, when you look at this time, you will see 5 a.m. That's probably why you want replay access, unless you're just a soap fiend and you absolutely positively want to be on at 5 o'clock in the morning. The next thing is we have distilling plants into hydrosols and essential oils, lotion making, whipped cream soap, how to launch and grow a successful soap business, soap coloring and design techniques, making bombs and salves, choosing your target and pricing for profit, and a business roundtable. So that's all happening on the 11th, with virtual networking happening in between those sessions. Then on September the 12th, we kick it off very early again, 8 a.m., talking about all things elderberry, formulating facial serums, live streaming, liquid soap making, wholesaling, and then also invigorating your soap, doing something a little more creative with soap dough with the amazing bee. So that is the schedule of the content that will be covered during the conference. But now let's take a look at what that networking feels like. So you go into the sessions, you may have questions for the speakers. You may want to share your own experience with other attendees. And this is what's really, really important whenever you are hosting a virtual event. Where is the opportunity for your attendees to congregate like they would if it were an in-person event? So that's where we have this demo space to show you all. So let me stop my original share so that I can bring you on to the networking space, which I think you guys will really, really like. And there's 2 elements to the networking space. The first element being the ability for attendees to congregate at different tables. So we do have various tables with different topics. So if you're a hot process queen and you want to talk to other people who are interested in hot process, you simply double click on that table and you're able to interact with other attendees in that space. And I don't mean just chatting. I mean turning your camera on, and I don't want to do that because I have my camera on here, but then also your microphone. And the beauty of that is very similar to Zoom breakout rooms. Attendees are then moving through this space to interact and engage with each other. We do have several sponsors that are going to be offering coupons, giveaways, raffles, and prizes. And so they will also be in this space to be able to demonstrate some of their products, answer questions about what it is that they offer. And then there's also sponsorship banners in this space. So I've created one just for Veda so I can give you an example. So attendees will be able to click on those banners. And here's an example sponsor, and I uploaded my Should You Start a Soap Business video as a demo. But sponsors will be able to upload their own videos into this space that attendees are able to watch. And then there's also clickable links that take attendees directly to either those discounted items, the raffles, or any of those things. So attendees are able to find out information about the sponsors and engage with the sponsors as well. So I wanted this to be a really, really quick demonstration of what you all can come to expect at the virtual conference. Let me go ahead and stop this share because I wanted it to be quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you are interested in registering, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, you can head over to bit.ly/OSA virtual in order to register for the conference, learn about the speakers, get more information about the sessions that will be held, and then if you're registered, somebody has joined me. That's a great example. It looks like Andy. Andy, I don't know if you want to turn your camera on because I'm live streaming, but the speakers just got their links to be able to go in and kind of test drive the platform. So I'm going to turn my mic on really quickly and you might be able to get a real live demo. Andy, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, I'm actually live streaming a walkthrough of the platform. And if you are, turn your mic on. There she is. Hi. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, guys, and then you'll get a chance to meet Andy, who's a speaker and a sponsor for the event. So there you are, Andy. Everybody can see you on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. They can't see you. They see your beautiful picture because you've set up a profile. But can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you will be sharing at the Old Sage Apothecarian Conference?
Okay, so I will be teaching a liquid soap making class on the basic adventures of how to get started with liquid soap making. And then I'm also part of the round table on business discussions.
Excellent, excellent. And so you also run Majestic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I help run Majestic Mountain Sage. We're a supplier for the industry. We do a lot of things. We're based out of Utah, but we supply fragrances, fixed oils, a lot of different things. And we've been in the industry since 1996.
Wow. The first time I interacted with Majestic Mountain Sage was at the first, what was it? The Old Sage Apothecarian Conference. I think it was in 2019 or it might have been 2018. And you guys gave us this perfumer kit. And I did
That was 2019.
Yes. And I did a whole live stream on that, trying to figure out which scents blends work together. And then you had sent me some recommendations for what to blend together. So
that's one of my favorite things to do is fragrance blending. It's so fun.
Yeah, for sure. So we didn't plan it this way, guys, but the beauty of it is you get a sneak peek. Now, Andy nor myself actually have our cameras on, but if we had our cameras on, you would actually be able to see our videos interacting. And if Andy, if you can just click on or double click on the cold process table, maybe she's finished talking to me about hot process. So if she double clicks, oh, you don't have to right now. Because if you do that, you won't be able to hear me anymore. She would just
I'll give it a try and then I'll be back.
Okay. So she can easily just double click and now she's at a whole different table interacting with those individuals that are there. And then if she chooses, you kind of hear a knock, knock. And that knock, knock is an indication that someone else has joined. So how do you like it so far, Andy?
This is cool. I'm excited to play around with people and meet people again in a virtual setting, but yeah, it's not face-to-face, but yes, it is.
It's as close as we can get in the middle of a pandemic, but I'm so glad you were able to click on because I wanted this to be a pretty quick video. But if any of you are interested in joining, please do head over to register. That early bird registration does expire on September the 1st, so you can save yourself a little bit of money. And then we do have a lot of things planned for attendees that week before the conference, so you can start to get to know the suppliers, the attendees, and the speakers before the actual event begins. Andy, anything you want to add?
You should really join us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be amazing. All right, everybody, I'm going to say bye-bye to all of you. I'm going to talk to Andy over there in the networking space, but I'll see you September the 11th and the 12th, where you can learn how to make all kinds of natural skincare, and then also the camaraderie of being around other makers, beginner, experienced, advanced, and they all come together to share that knowledge. All right, everybody, I'll see